Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Welcome to the online meeting of Speakers Community Toastmasters Club. I'm pleased to be your Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. In the online meeting environment, there are few instructions that we follow. First, I request you to rename yourself. All the Toastmasters can prefix to your name and guests can prefix guests. I also request all the speakers and the role holders to prefix their role to their name so that it's easy to identify them. Second, all speakers are requested to do a quick audio and video check before they start their speeches. Okay. The third one, I would request you not to type in the chat box when a speaker is speaking, as it disturbs the speaker. You can use the private chat to provide feedback. You are also requested to keep your audio on mute in case you are speaking. Please refrain from unnecessary moments or shipping on drinks if your video is on. Please turn off the video in case you need to do so. Do not click on share screen unless your speech or role require you to do so. You can display a hi bye or namaste when taking over or leaving from the room. You can connect with TechMaster for any technical glitch. If you are a speaker, then please ensure you pin the timer or confirm that same is visible at all times. This meeting is being recorded. In case you have any reservations, please let us know. You can network during the break and after the meeting. Please stay tuned till the end of the meeting because we have networking session after the meeting. Let me share the mission of the club. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now let me introduce the presiding officer for a day, Toastmaster Sherin. Toastmaster Sherin is a creative person who has been with Toastmasters since 2020-21. She says she had a wonderful journey with Toastmaster. Now I hand over the session to a presiding officer who is wonderful. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Sherin.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Monica, who is our SAR and also our Tech Master. With that, I welcome all of you, all my dear Toastmasters and my dear guests, to the 83rd meeting of Speakers Community Toastmasters Club. A few announcements. We have the XCOM election coming up in January. Then we have the division level contest, which is on 11th December. And I urge everyone to register for it and be a part of this event. Then I have a small little story for you all, which is a herd of bisons, the animal bisons, and they are scared or they don't like being in the storm. So what they do is, instead of whenever there is a storm or whenever there is a tornado coming to their side, what they do is, instead of running away from it, they go straight at it, because the mentality that they have is, if you go straight at it, it's the least amount of time that you will spend in a storm. So whatever fears or whatever challenges that we are facing, let's head straight to it so that we can get over it as soon as we can, and we can challenge ourselves and grow with that issue or with that problem that we are facing. And with that too, I would like to introduce some of the guests that we have. Can I take Monika's help to? Okay, we have guest Akash. Akash, can you give a short intro of yourself and how you came to know about Toastmasters?
Just a second. I'm having some mic trouble. So yeah. So my name is Akash and I am a journalist. Yeah. So communication is the key for me. So I just Googled some good public speaking platforms and where I can like improve and know and be join a community basically. So Toastmaster came on the top and I joined.
Okay, Toastmasters. Okay, guest Akash. We look forward that you join us. We are a community wherein we are from all over India. Like Toastmaster Kalpana just said, we are from Mumbai, Delhi, Kolhapur, so from all the places, and it's almost every time it's online, so you can join us. Think about joining us, and we also have a networking session at the end. So please do stay till the end so we can interact with you later on. Yeah, Toastmaster Kalpana, do we have any other guests as well?
I think some of them are just on the verge of joining. I have messaged them, but let's continue with the meeting right now, and we'll interact with them at the end of the meeting.
Yes. So now we have our energetic Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Arun. Toastmaster Arun has been a Toastmaster since 3 years. Currently, he is the presiding officer for Agnel Toastmasters Club. He likes running, he likes keeping fit, and he encourages everyone to stay fit and stay healthy. With that, I give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Arun. The stage is all yours.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sherin. Just confirm whether you can hear me clearly and you can see me clearly.
Yes, I can hear you and you are visible and audible.
Thank you so much, everyone. Let's hear one more round for our presiding officer, Toastmaster Sherin. And thank you, Toastmaster Sherin, for the wonderful story sharing with us. Thank you for having me. Can someone tell what is the theme for today? Do any of you recall, other than Kalpana and Sherin, what is the theme for today?
Made to stick.
Yeah, made to stick. So I'll start with this. A friend of friends was in Mumbai recently. He was from Delhi. And before catching up his flight, there were a couple of hours left. So he thought to have a drink. And in order to do that, he went into a local bar. And just around he was finishing the first drink, a beautiful lady came up to him and asked whether she can buy him a drink. He was pleasantly surprised and very happy and just agreed. Oh yes, the lady went to the bar counter and came back with 2 drinks. The man got his drink, took it and just took 1 sip. And that's what he remembered last. And then he woke up in a room. He himself was in a bathtub. Bathtub was full of ice. And there was a note on the wall in front of him saying, call this number. And there was a phone beside him on a table. So he took the cell phone and made the call. The voice was familiar. The lady said, sir, your one of the 2 kidneys have been harvested and you need not move. There is a tube coming out of your stomach. You don't touch it. The help is on the way. And the call was cut. Now, can any of you just retell this story to me? Anyone? And I would request Sherin and Mitali to just switch on your videos, please. Anyone, please, just retell the story I told you. Yeah,
I
Kalpana,
think Sherin can, okay, I'll tell, but I'll tell it in a very few sentences. I'll just tell the gist of it, all right?
Yes,
the person
please.
was on his way traveling. He had to catch a plane, but he comes across a person who offers to buy him a free drink. He gets into the temptation of a free drink and finds himself waking up in a tub full of ice with a tube protruding from his stomach, probably from where the kidneys might have been extracted. And he's being told that he has lost both of his kidneys to a kidney racketeer, probably, or the organ racketeers that are rampant these days. The story is trying to tell you, perhaps it's better not to take up free drinks, first and foremost. And second, going to the theme, stick to your plans.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So the story has nothing to do with the theme. It's just an urban legend circulating across the globe since last 30, 40 years. What makes it stick to the mind is the elements that a story has. It is not something out of the blue. It's very simple. And it can happen to any one of us, those who may fall in the trap of drinking or otherwise to the charm of other opposite sex. Now, simple, that is one thing about the story. And that's why Toastmaster Kalpana was able to retell it immediately. The second thing is unexpectedness. The things that are happening. The person taking the sip, waking up in a bathtub full of ice, and one of the kidneys is harvested. The third thing, it's concrete, full of details, minute details. There is a phone, there is a note, there is a instruction to call, there is someone approaching at the bar, maybe drink is laced with some poison or some sedative. So all the details are there. Then credibility, friends of friends. That's how I started. A friends of friend. That means someone relative. It's not the way I presented it. It's not a hearsay. It has happened to someone close. So credibility. And then at last comes the story. It's a story. So there are 6 elements that I talked about, that all of them this story has. Can someone tell all those 6 elements quickly? Starting with Sakshi, what was the first element, Sakshi?
Easy. It was very easy.
Simple, simple. Yeah, simple. The word is simple. We can use easy, but let's go with simple, because I'll tell you there is a reason behind it. Guess Akash, what was the second element that I spoke?
Sorry, I just could not.
No worries. The second element was unexpectedness. So it catches you by surprise the way story moves. G, Toastmaster Nisha, what was the third element?
I don't recall the third element in terms of your order, but I think one point in any story is the visual impact.
Yeah,
so
so
you
the
made
third
us
was,
visualize that whole scene.
Thank you, thank you. So it was concrete. It has to be with details that you are able to visualize it. It has to be vivid, concrete. Our counter Mitali, what was the next element?
I have no idea.
Credible, credible.
Yes.
It is
Okay.
coming from a friend's friend. It is happening to a friend's friend. So there is an element of credibility. I'll tell you why I'm keeping these words and why they are in such order. And then last one was Toastmaster Sai. What was the last element?
I think it's a word which starts with the letter E. I don't know what the word is. It's got to be E though.
Emotions.
I knew it because I think you're going for success.
Yeah, exactly. So it has success had seven alphabets, but it has 6. One last S is not there. But why success? Because it's very easy to remember all the elements. So there is a debate always: talent versus hard work, nature versus nurture, leadership, whether you are born with it or whether you can work on it and you can learn to be a leader. Similarly, a story or your message, whether you are born with such ideas and you just come out, it just comes out with on your brain, or whether you can just refine it, strip something to the core, and then make it such that it leaves the impression on the reader's or listener's mind. And that is what made to stick. The effort of this theme is the things which are made to stick have these key elements. So I'll talk more about these elements. When all of these are present, probably they lead to sticking an idea to the audience. But I'll move ahead with the meeting, and then we'll keep discussing those elements, and then at last the climax of the theme. So for the guest, every regular Toastmaster meeting has 3 components, 3 sections. First section is where the TMOD, Toastmaster of the day, discusses the theme, and on the way we have speakers, prepared speakers presenting their speech based on the pre-agreed, predefined objectives that they have to meet during the speech. Then second is table topic session, where there is a table topic master who comes up with easy but on the spot topics, and you are presented with one, and then you have to speak for 2 minutes on the topic, 2 to 3 minutes, I guess. And then at last we have evaluation. So whosoever comes at the stage to speak gets evaluated, because that is important. So there is a general evaluator, and she or he has a team of evaluator who evaluates the speech. Then there are people who are evaluating the way we are speaking, the filler words we are using, the grammar we are using, the good things we are using and the bad things we are using, and we get the feedback. So this organization is roughly 100 years old, 1924, since 1924. And the whole thing has evolved with a rigorous process. And there is nothing which can be cut short or that can be added to it. And that is the beauty of it. So start the meeting. I'll invite the 3 gems to introduce themselves and their role. I will introduce them and then they will introduce their role. So I'll start with the timer Monica. She's graduated this year. She's a professionally, she's software developer, and she's always hungry to learn new creative things. So with this, I invite Toastmaster Monica to introduce her role.
Toastmaster of the day. Today I'm playing a timer role. As a timer, my duty is to time prepare speeches, table topics, and evaluation. For speeches, the time allotted varies as per project and will be stated by evaluator. For instance, for the icebreaker, the time allocated is 4 to 6 minutes, but we are not having icebreaker speech today. For table topics, the time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes. For evaluation, the time allotted is 2 to 3 minutes. A speaker must meet the specified time limit to qualify for the award at the end of the meeting. I will display the green screen at the minimum qualifying time, yellow screen at midpoint of qualifying time, and red screen at a maximum qualifying time. For prepared speech and evaluation, speaker has 30-second grace before the minimum qualifying time and after maximum qualifying time. For table topics, there is a grace of 30 seconds only after red screen is displayed. All the speakers who continue to speak behind the 30 seconds grace will not be qualifying for the vote, and I will report the time taken by speakers when called upon. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Monica, for comprehensively reporting your role and the way timing will be done. Thank you so much. Now may I invite next gem of the meeting, the counter Toastmaster Mitali. She's an enthusiastic person with a penchant to learn that has brought her to Toastmasters. So that's the common traits of all the Toastmasters. They are hungry to learn. They want to learn as much as they can because learning is growing. So with this, I invite Toastmaster Mitali to introduce her role to us. So Mitali is coming with a bang, I guess.
Yes. Hello, Toastmasters and all and guesses. The purpose of the counter is note to word and sound that are used as a crunch and pause filter by anyone who speak. During the meeting, I will listen for overused work, including and, well, but, so, and, you, know, light word, like that word, using more than 5 times. I listen. And such as I or is meaning this at the end of the meeting, I will report the member of the times that each speaker use this expression. Over to you, Toastmaster Arun.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now I invite Toastmaster Radhika as grammarian to introduce her role. She is retired from the glamorous world of Air India, but enjoying the simplicity of a housewife and grandkids the most. She is a Toastmaster since 2016 and is still learning from each and every Toastmaster she meets. Welcome, Toastmaster Radhika. Please introduce your role.
Thank you, sir, Toastmaster Arun, for a lovely introduction. I am your grammarian for the day. The grammarian's job is to keep a strict eye on the good usage of English words and not so good usage of English words and grammar. And I had to note down every detail about it, about every speaker who's speaking. And I have to present my report when I'm called upon by the Toastmasters at the end. And I'm also to introduce the word of the day and the phrase of the day. The word of the day today I've chosen is ardent. Ardent means enthusiastic and passionate. Like I'm an ardent fan of Toastmaster clubs. The phrase of the day I've chosen is raring to go, eager to begin. So I invite all our guests to enjoy the meeting, have fun, and raring to go to be a Toastmaster. Over to you, Toastmaster Arun.
Thank you for introducing your role. Well, so we were there with the theme. What are the 6 elements? We discussed those 6 elements which make a message, an ad film, a story stick to people. And now we'll go one by one through them. So first was simple. It has to be really simple. And there is not much to say about it, the simplicity. Just go to the core of the message, the theme, the words that you are trying to say, and think like an audience, and that's it. So you would see there are proverbs which have lived since last 1,000-1,500 years, and without being written, they have just been passed on from mouth to mouth, from generation to generation, because they were so simple, catchy, had a profound meaning to them. And that's why we remember them. And there are so many. Just Google any proverb and see where is the genesis of it? When was it invented? And you will really have to dig deep to find who invented, who said that proverb. And you wouldn't find a source because it got refined. And every language will have some bit of, every reason will have it with some bit of tweaking to fit to the custom, to the culture, so that meaning could be more direct. So that's about simplicity. The second component is unexpectedness. So there is a small story to share. You would have definitely been to a flight, and there, when the flight starts, when it starts moving or when everyone has boarded, the flight attendants comes and they start telling you what to do and what not to do, and those words. Where is the exit? How the mask will appear automatically when there is a stress, and you'll have to, how do you have to wear the that life-saving jacket, and how to fill the gas into it and all. And hardly people care. If you see the passengers, they are chit-chatting, or they're trying to catch the video they have thought to, and the book they want to read. And the flight attendants also really don't care much. They just go on whether people are listening or not. And there was one, so Madam Radhika may relate more than us because she has been there. And there was one flight attendant, she came up and then she started in a really different tone, the whole thing. And then she said that there may be 50 ways to leave your ex, but there are 6 ways to leave this plane. And something like this, really twisted, funny. And everyone was listening. And after the end of her announcement, everyone was just clapping. So that is unexpectedness. You are used to of a routine, through some words, through some tone to it, some notion to it. And she just came and twisted the whole thing and then presented in such a way that everyone was listening. So that is unexpectedness. So these are the 2 elements. And then we'll hear the speech, next prepared speech, and then I'll come back to the remaining 4 as well. So today we have speaker Toastmaster Kalpana, and to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Kalpana, we have evaluator Toastmaster Sai Ramachandran. So may I invite Toastmaster Sai Ramachandran to state the objective of the speech of Toastmaster Kalpana. Everyone, let's welcome Toastmaster Sai first.
Thank you very much, this Toastmasters Club. I'm an ardent fan of Toastmaster Kalpana, having heard her give a speech about a dog not so long ago. I remember the dog causing a lot of mayhem in a car. So I'm looking forward to this next speech of hers, where it'll be her job to understand and leverage social media to either build a new profile or enhance an existing social media profile. That's the project that she's undertaken. And in this speech, which is 5 to 7 minutes long, she's expected to explain her experience in implementing and executing this project. So I'm looking forward to Toastmaster Kalpana, who I'm sure is raring to go. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day. And for the timer, the speech duration is 5 to 7 minutes.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sai. May I have Toastmaster Kalpana now? Can you say something so that we know we can hear you?
Yeah, hi, I would like to thank my evaluator, and he has actually made me more nervous, and I hope I come up to his expectation with this speech also.
So everyone, please welcome Toastmaster Kalpana. Median Media, Toastmaster Kalpana.
Could you just flip the cards, Toastmaster Monica? Yeah, I see them. Thank you. Thank you. We are living in a world where visibility creates opportunity. We are living in a world where we have to be our own Pied Pipers, right? Social media is one such platform. It gives you the opportunity, it's the medium for you to be showcased or catapulted into the world where if you are Googled and you're visible. Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. What was social media to me? My Facebook, my LinkedIn. How many likes did I get? How many people are following me? Can I put up some videos on the reels? And just watch? What do I have there? For me, it was a light-hearted entertainment of looking up the put-up videos and patting my back every time I got a comment on any nonsensical, good-looking, not so good-looking, funny, happy, sad, downtrodden photograph that I put up on any social media platform. And life put me into the position of the president of Speakers Community Toastmasters Club. I happily sat on it. Till I realized I needed visibility. You know why I needed visibility? It wasn't because Speakers Community is not top-notch. It is because I had other top-notch clubs around District 98 that were shining like neon lights. And where did they get their charts from? They got it from social media. And I, believe me, was nothing except a Facebook, some professional profile on LinkedIn, very happy to just browse and then lay back and watch some dog shows and some dance shows. And I was pitched into the seat of doing the PR for my club. What did I do? I immediately ran under the shelter of the youngsters, ardent youngsters. All right. And who else but my PR, Shireen? I said, hey, Shireen, you've got to do something, man. What are we going to do about this? And guess what? Shireen pitched in. I should not forget my other arm, Monica, my SA. She's an IT expert, right? I pitched in, hey, how do I professionally use this platform? Let's gain some visibility. And here is what we came up with. So what did we come up with? All right. Who, what, where, when, and why? Who do we wanted to project out there? Of course, ourselves. What did we wanted to project out there? Toastmaster International. Where did we wanted to project that we are an online platform? That was what our projection was going to mean. Come one, come all. You might be from Kerala to Kashmir. You might be from Gujarat to Assam. We don't care. We don't mind. Come. Why? Because we wanted to touch the passionate public speakers. What did we do? We started to make short reels for the first time, not featuring us, but featuring best members, featuring members who gave us good feedback. We were out there playing our pipe, ensuring that members and followers come in. Our Instagram page was taken care of by none other than my PR Shireen. And who increased the visibility on YouTube? None other than the darling of the club, Toastmaster Monica. She ensured that we get more than 600 YouTube views, from 20 views to 600. Was such an achievement. I just look into my YouTube Speakers Community channel, and when it begins with an advertisement, my heart goes thump-a-thump. I suddenly realized what PR is. I realized what it means to be out there, especially when I read somewhere that if you even Google your name, you should be out there, right? Slowly and steadily, we started discussing strategies. We decided to put a phrase of the words and words of the day. We decided to ask our followers to make a sentence, to put it out there, to use the phrase. Come on, you all can do it. So we made our page into a conversation. When you make a conversation, a technical conversation, you rise. Brainstorming gave us a lot of ideas. I, for the first time, began to realize how important it is to do a PR. You know, guys, what? During my times, when I had launched a soft skill institute of my own in Mumbai, I was going into the newspaper area where classifieds were the norm. 5 rupees or 7 rupees per word. A small classified cost is 70 rupees. Yeah, and pamphlets. I used to go down to the newspaper vendors, have my pamphlets printed and used to distribute them. All of it now is digital. Our digits are counted and stored in the lights. A thumbs up, a thumbs down, a heart, a smiley face. Media is what is the demand. If you want a bouquet of flowers to be laid out there, do so. Because Bill Gates has said, if I was down to my last dollar, I will spend it on PR. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kalpana, for that wonderful speech. Round of applause, everyone, for Toastmaster Kalpana. Thank you. The way she delivered, I'm not G, I'm not evaluator, but for such a speech, we are supposed to follow, practice, practice, practice. Tell them, and then at last tell them what you told them. That's how the refinement happens. Practice, rewriting, doing everything that can be done, and then so recently I reached out to Toastmaster Kalpana for help on a speech, and she was very kind to help me with the speech. She is very good. Those who don't know, she is very good at voice modulation and understanding the notion, the tone that we need to stick to at what moment of the speech, and also just thought to pay my gratitude to her. I wouldn't find a better platform than this, maybe, to say these things about her. Thank you. So I'll go on with my theme. So we talked about unexpectedness, and then next point that comes here is concrete. So there was a Greek philosopher. His fables are very famous, and one of them goes like this: there was a fox roaming around in an orchard, and she was thirsty, and she saw the grapes hanging, and she thought that probably they look juicy, and let me have them, and probably that will quench my thirst. So she jumped, but she could not reach. So she went few steps back, came running, and jumped, and still she did not get. So she tried again, and she did not reach the grapes. After doing this 10, 20 times, when she was tired, she said, grapes are sour. And that fable is of Aesop. His name is Aesop. That guy was a slave, and then he was freed by his master, and then he started writing these fables, which have stuck. And that was, I guess, 600 BC or sometime. And that the fables have stuck, and they are with us here. You are hearing from my mouth. So imagine how long those fables have survived, because they have those concrete details. There is a fox, there are grapes, there is a thirst that has to be quenched, and then fox is jumping and not reaching and all that. If you say the same thing in other words, probably that may not, if that is not concrete, that may not stick. But why it is stuck? Because it had this, the whole fable had concrete details. And there are so many, you can go on Google and check it. There are so many fables of that guy who just knew how to write them. And they all have these common elements. And now if everyone knows that fable, so what they say, grapes are sour. And everyone understands what they are meaning to say, isn't it? That's because the fables are so concrete. The next element why the ideas stick is credibility. So again, for this, to convey this idea, convey every element, I have one story. So for credibility, there were two guys who were just beginning their career in medical industry. It was 1980s somewhere, and the name was Barry Marshall and Robin Warren. So one was an intern, another was some assistant in a lab. And they came up with this idea that ulcer that happens is because of bacteria. And they presented a paper to the medical science conference. And people just brushed them off, that this is not possible because the stomach has so much acid that bacteria cannot survive in that. And there are so many other arguments that these guys don't even have the mannerism of a scientist. How can they come up with? So these were the comments of the industry at that time. In 1984, one of the guys himself had what is that bacteria of ulcer. He himself collected them and drank it, just gulped it down. And then he had ulcer, the symptoms of ulcer. When test was done, he had ulcer, the initial symptoms of ulcer. Then he had antibiotic, and he was treated. He was cured. And then again, there was opposing ideas, opposing thoughts to that it is not possible. It was not proper ulcer. It was just in the beginning and you just cured it. But these two guys found some support. And ultimately, after years of fighting in 2005, they were awarded Nobel Prize to finding the cure of ulcer. Why their experiment was not accepted? Because they didn't have credible background. They were just beginners. So people thought, how can an intern and a nurse or an assistant, lab assistant can come up with such grand idea, which scientists could not find? Where it is coming from, who is giving, had importance. So whatever we are saying has to be credible. That is the idea here. The next element is emotion. If we feel, or if we are able to buy in the emotion from people, it sells like hotcake. It is a researched fact that if NGOs or the helping agencies go asking for help for entire reason, REGION, reason, if they ask help for the whole gamut of people and problems, they don't get the help. But if they just concise the story for one girl or one boy who is suffering in a particular reason, and then at the end they say there are millions of such boy and girl in Mali or Sudan or some backward corner of the world, probably help comes fast. Because you relate to one boy or one girl and the emotion that brings to you, how they are suffering, and the vivid imagery that is created. So that's a fact. Emotion helps in sticking the ideas. And the last is a story. If it is in a form of story. So do you remember there is a word, there is a sentence which captures all 26 alphabet. There are more than one, but there is one sentence. Anyone remembers that? No? Some brown fox jumped over something. You remember that? If you are asked why I remember, I heard it. Before the theme, I don't even during working on the theme, I didn't access it. But I just thought I'll experiment whether I remember and see. I remember it because there was a fox, it jumped over some brown bag or something, and it has all 26. Just Google it. It has all 26 alphabets. That one sentence. Because it is in a form of a story. And that's how I was able to remember it. That one line has something, that there was a fox and it jumped, and that sentence catches all alphabets in one line. Some people came up with another one recently, but I remember the old one.
I think we have all read it, but we are unable to juggle our memories, you know. Actually, when you mentioned A to Z, I think I also
a quick brown fox jumped over lazy dog or something. That's the sentence.
That's right. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
Yeah.
Oh,
See?
fantastic.
Thank you, Toastmaster Radhika. And that's how I recalled it, because it was somewhere in some method someone created it. It doesn't have any use, but it shows that what can be captured in a small sentence. The whole alphabet, 26 alphabets are there in it. Well, with this, I would like to now invite the table topic master for the evening, Toastmaster Sakshi. She's a person who loves running and believes in spiritualism. She's very enthusiastic and dynamic Toastmaster, currently serving as VPPR of Agnel Toastmasters Club. Let's welcome table topic master of the evening, Toastmaster Sakshi.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Arun, for introducing me in such a wonderful way. So in order to get started, first I would like to share my screen. Just a minute. I hope I'm audible and visible to everyone. Yes? Okay.
Yes, you are.
Yes. And hope my screen is also visible to everyone.
Yes.
Yes. Great. Thank you, Toastmaster Arun. So today I'm the table topic master for the day. My name is Sakshi Borkar, and in this session, we'll be having some fun with impromptu topics. As you can see on the screen, I have prepared a table, and on this table, you can see that there are different fruits. So now when Toastmaster Arun were explaining a story related to the grapes, I remembered that, oh, I have some grapes in my session as well. You can see here, so we have a grape here, grapes here. So yeah, so I'll just introduce about to the guest what is this session all about. So table topic session is where you will be given an impromptu topic to speak on, and this session will help you to think on your feet and think out of the box. The best part about this session is that all the words that come from your mouth will be right from your heart, because you don't get some time to prepare for it. But all you have is a chance to speak what you have in your mind. So that is what I love about this session. And in this session, once the topic will be given to you, the timing for the session, the timing for the speech is from 1 to 2 minutes. 1 is the minimum qualifying time. So in order to qualify for the awards, the speakers have to have to speak at least for 1 minute, and the maximum qualifying time for the table topic session is 2 minutes, or rather it is 2 minutes 30 seconds. So 2 minutes 30 seconds is after I add 30 seconds grace period to it. So so to all the speakers and guests, in order to qualify, you have to ensure that you speak for at least 1 minute, or you speak for at least 2 minutes 30 seconds, and you may not exceed 2 minutes 30 seconds as your time limit. So yes, so let's get started. I would like to see who would be the first person or first volunteer to come in. Or maybe a raise of hand would help me, because I'm not able to see everyone in my screen. Just a minute. Yes. Guest, I would like to get started with the guest if possible.
We have guest Akshata here, so you can ask her. Guest Akshata, Toastmaster Sakshi.
Yes, guest Akshata, would you like to go ahead first? Or any experienced speaker would like to come ahead first, so that they get to know how you can go ahead with the speaking.
Toastmaster Sai.
Okay, Toastmaster Sai.
I have a role. I'm doing a role anyway. So maybe somebody somebody else who I can do it. I don't want to waste time. Sure, I'll do it.
Perfect. So Toastmaster Sahib, which fruit would you like to choose?
Let me see. I'll take a pomegranate.
Okay, pomegranate. The worst color in the world. Toastmaster Sahib, the worst color in the world. Over to you.
You know, a lot of people say that red is the most beautiful color. It shows passion, it shows regalness, regal behaviors. It shows all sorts of positive things. But in my opinion, the color red is the worst color in the world. Because the color red, when it shows up on your face, it indicates either embarrassment or guilt. And neither of those two emotions are things that you want to reveal to the world, unless you're doing it in order to get through to somebody else, that you're feeling embarrassed, you're feeling bashful. But in general, most people who are feeling embarrassed or bashful or are feeling guilt would want to keep it within themselves. And most times when your face is showing up as red, it's because there's something that you don't want the world to know. It's private to you. You're having a moment that you want to keep to yourself. But at that time is when the color red shows up, and it makes you look like, makes you appear very transparent to the people around you, and they can look at your face and say, something is going on underneath. That is why this person is turning red. So in my opinion, red is the worst color. There are other reasons why the color red is pretty awful. In Toastmasters, towards the end of your speech, when you really want to make a point, that's when the color red shows up and says, you know what, I think I've had enough of you. You need to stop talking so much. Another reason why red is awful. Green, yellow, white, gray, all those colors, they have no problems with you continuing. But the color red, and so once it's up there, you're done for the day. Then where else is red not the right choice? If your clothes are bloodied because they're red because they're bloodied, it's because there's some deep wound that has come out. So you never ever have red in a positive context. If you're wearing a red shirt and there's a bull around you, better watch out, because that bull is going to come for you. So red it's either a sign that you're in trouble, it's a sign that you've overstayed your welcome, or it's a sign that there is trouble coming your way because of in the form of a bull. So, Madam Toastmaster, the table topics master of the day, if you have red in your wardrobe, I think you do better by throwing it away. Don't give it to anybody else, because you'll be transferring the bad luck and the awfulness of the color to somebody else. Back to you.
So I won't. Thank you, Toastmaster Sahib. Now, even I have started hating the color red, and I think that I can relate to you, Toastmaster Sahib, because I'm not a fan of a red color as such. I feel that it is too bright. It just it irritates my eye. But yeah, so thank you for giving such an incredible speech. Now, I would like to request a guest speaker to come ahead and give a speech. Who would like to be? Guest Akshata Ahir, are you there? Are you able to hear me?
Actually, guest Akshata has just sent me a private message declining to participate. So I think we can move on, and maybe, again ask her after one or two people have spoken.
Yes, sure. Who would like to come next? Toastmaster Sharon, would you like to go ahead?
Yes, Toastmasters. Actually, I've been never good at table topics, but I'm raring to go.
Oh, perfect. Even I'm an ardent fruit lover, so yeah, I would like you to choose a fruit from here.
I'll select pear because it's perfect.
Oh, nice one.
Oh, damn. You could hear what someone is saying.
I just zoom in. If you could hear what someone is thinking for a day, who would you choose and why?
I could get this superpower of hearing what they are thinking for a day. I would choose to hear to my thoughts of my husband, because we have a lot of arguments, And I being mostly the one who's speaking, and he's like, okay. So I just want to know what is the thing that he is thinking, and what is the thing that is keeping him so calm. So all the guys around here, if you have your better half, you can let me know what is the thing that you think of, and there is an argument of why didn't you put your socks in the washing machine, or why didn't you keep this at this place. So that is the one thing that I think I'll enjoy, even if it's just for one day. But I think after a day, I won't enjoy it, because I know how my husband thinks, and he will just keep on thinking about his bikes, or he will keep thinking about his car, and it will be a boring place to be. With that, thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Sakshi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sharon. That was an interesting thing to hear, that you would like to hear your husband's thoughts. Next, I would like to go ahead with who would like to come forward. Oh, okay. Toastmaster Radhika. Radhika, before you proceed ahead, I would like to just confirm if you are able to see the timer card. You're not audible. Your voice, your mic is on mute.
And I did not unmute. Yes, I'm able to see the timer's card.
Yes, perfect, perfect. Okay, so Toastmaster Radhika, which fruit would you like to choose?
I love mangoes.
Mangoes, okay. If not now, then when? If not now, then when? Over to you, Toastmaster Radhika.
Topic for impromptu speaking. Not now, then when? The time is ticking. Has to be now. Impromptu speaking. So you have to speak now. But what do I speak about? I chose mangoes. So let's talk about mangoes. Oh, I'm not happy that mangoes come seasonal, just for 2 months. So I want mangoes to be round the year. I should have been born in California, where mangoes are all round the year. So I would like to go there and eat those mangoes all the time. I don't have to say, eat all of them now. I don't know when the time will come again. So it has to be now. Everything, whatever you decide or you try to do, you don't postpone it, because if you postpone, the time is ticking. So catch the time, grab the time, and implement it now. At least start now. And let's see, even if you're not prepared, if you start, it's going to start, and then time is going to come when you are prepared for it. So whatever you decide to do, or whatever you plan to do, or whatever you want to do it now, because now is the time which is not going to come again. Now is now. So do it now. Over to you, my dear.
Perfect. The way you related the topic to mangoes, and it was incredible. I didn't saw that coming.
Impromptu.
Yes, impromptu. Next, I can see Toastmaster Nisha raising her hand up. Hello,
Yeah, hi.
Yes. Hello, Nisha. Hello, Toastmaster Nisha. Which food would you like to choose?
So I'll go with apple.
Apple. Yes, that's my favorite. And are you able to see the timer?
I'm not able to, because I'm on the mobile, but I don't know what to do about it. So I'll just time it in my mind.
Actually, we will put a message in the chat. Toastmaster
Sure.
Monica. All right. Thank you.
Yes, sure.
So, perfect. So, Apple. If you could rename yourself, what name would you pick? If you could rename yourself, what name would you pick? Over to you, Toastmaster Nisha.
Thank you for the topic. Good afternoon, everybody. If I could rename myself, I would choose to retain the same name that I have as of now, because I don't think it is anything to do with your name. It is to do with who you are as a person. So name is just something that people relate to you, or people can just call you. But I wouldn't for anything want to change my name, because it is something also for emotional reasons that your parents would have chosen a name for you after a lot of research and whatever they felt nice to name you as your first or second kid. So why would I want to change that emotion for them and choose a name which is to my liking? I would actually retain my name, and I would be very happy, and I would actually look for reasons why I would want to continue with my name. In fact, that reminds me that I have two boys, and I have chosen really tough names for both of them. In the context of getting names which are rare, I have actually chosen names which are very difficult to pronounce. But I somehow teach them that don't be sort of perturbed by what people say. People may make fun of your name. People may make fun of you also. But always try to take that in your stride. Always try to have that instinct to be able to face all those things and take pride in whatever you are. As you grow, we may have many facets about us which we may not like, name being one of them. I hear a lot of South Indians say that, oh, my parents have named me with such a long name and it's so difficult and all of that. But I think there is a reason behind why your name is so take pride in it and try and just live life to the best and be proud of your name and make proud of yourself. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Excuse me, what if we would like to know the names of the boys?
Okay, the names of my boys are Sayuj and Sanyukt. So every time in school, they get mispronounced and I have to correct the teachers. But somehow I've just taken it in my stride now. I think even the boys have.
My son's name is Ushin. So that is also a very typical name. So he always says USHIN because I'm saying, what? Hussein? You what? Ocean? Ushin? Says a USHIN. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's perfect. Even I was curious to know that, what are the names of your two boys? And I've heard this quote which says, "What's in your name?" Or it is a movie or it is a book. I'm not sure, but I have heard it and it is very popular.
I think it's said by
That is
Shakespeare.
Shakespeare.
What's in a
What's in
name?
a name?
Okay,
Yes.
it's Shakespeare. Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. Next, who would like to be our next speaker?
All right, I'll.
Toastmaster Kalpana.
Okay.
Are you able
Yeah,
to see the
wait.
timer card?
Yes, I can, but I think, Monica, would you like to go? Monica, I think Sherin has nominated Monica. Monica, would you like to participate?
Sorry, Sharon, because the cards have to flip and I couldn't open my camera.
Oh, okay. Next time, I think someone else will be the timer so that you can participate. Or shall we just?
Definitely, I will next time.
Okay. Anyone else? Mitali, would you like to participate? Mitali?
No, ma'am, I'll try next time.
Okay. All right, Shakshi, I'll go in that case.
Okay. Which fruit would you like to choose?
I thought peach will be the best.
Okay, peach. When life offers you a lemon, then you can continue the sentence and your speech. When life offers you a lemon, over to you, Toastmaster Kalpana.
When life offers you lemons. Thank you so much for that topic. Well, when life offers me a lemon, I'm going to make a margarita. Why wouldn't I? Have you ever seen what margarita is? I know. Deep red color, the rim of it actually having the salt and with the slice of the lime that is hanging precariously on the rim of that sherry glass. You know what? That's what life is. When you get lemon, make it margarita, make it cool, make it elegant, have class, and enjoy it sip by sip by sip. Lemon is that rare fruit. And I'm not that fox who is going to say, ah, life is sour. I'm going to add some salt to it, some whiskey to it, some little bit of happiness in the form of the cherry to top it, and make it a pleasant experience. Thank you. Over to you, Sakshi.
Oh my God, I never expected that that you would be making a margarita out of it, and now I'm really thirsty. Now I feel like drinking it because the way you used the sound effects, like then also you the way you mentioned about the salt on the rim of the glass. Oh my God, now my mouth is literally watering. Who would like to next make
Let's.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
No, I was saying let's next sit together and have a toast with margarita.
Yes.
Kalpana, I am going to forget the lemonade from the lemon. I'm going to make margarita now onwards.
Yes, me too. Now, who would like to come next? Do we have time? Do we have enough time for more people to come in? Yes. Toastmaster Kalpana.
I would suppose so, because we have got till 5:15. So actually, since two of the speakers due to some emergency could not, come today. So there is time. You can call one or two people more, and then we can move on to the general evaluation section.
Sure. Who would like to come next? Now we have Toastmaster Mitali and guest Akshata. What if you would both like to come together ahead? Okay, and then you can have a conversation on the topic. Will you be okay with that? So all I'm saying is, because coming in front of camera and then speaking for a while might be little frightening, but what if you both can have a conversation with each other regarding any of the topic which is there? Toastmaster Akshata, are you there? Or who would like to go ahead with Toastmaster Mitali to have a quick conversation on any of the topics?
Okay, Monica, I want you to join Mitali. I will just do the timer on my mobile and put it down in chat. Please participate.
That sounds perfect.
Okay.
Toastmaster Mitali, okay, you're finally in. Toastmaster Monica, glad to have you here as well. Which food would you like to choose, as in
Kiwi.
Toastmaster Monica, is kiwi good for you?
Yes, sure.
Okay, just a minute. Let me see what's the topic. An idea that changed your life. So how we can do this is you both can have a conversation about how an idea changed your life. So maybe Toastmaster Monica can talk about one idea that changed her life, and then after that the conversation can pass on to Toastmaster Mitali, saying a conversation that changed her life, and then you can ask questions and the conversation can go on. So who would like to start? Toastmaster Mitali or Toastmaster Monica?
Toastmaster Mitali.
Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Hi.
Hello, Toastmaster Mitali. Over to you. An idea that changed your life. An idea that changed your life. Over to you, Toastmaster Mitali.
Okay. I'm very nervous, but it's okay. Any give idea? Can you change your life? Idea give your life change your life. So just try to idea, and especially news change of my life. So that I try to get follow the idea and to go for the success of this idea, and my life is some few changing. So I'm happy because the give you idea. Sorry. Over to you, Toastmaster Sakshi.
Okay, Toastmaster Monica, would you like to know what that idea is all about?
Yeah, I can go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, thank you. The girls actually comes from the village. Like people like look down on girls. So likewise, when I was younger, when I was in teenager, that time surrounding people's like look. They try to look down on me and all my sisters, but what happened? Sisters like they get convinced by their all the thoughts and by all their by all them they get convinced by all of them, and they decided to get married after the 10. And I little bit think about it, like is it okay to get married right now? And I saw some other relatives how it is going there, how they are living, because they weren't married after the 10. And that, I think, that little bit thought and that little bit idea changed my life. So because of that, I couldn't graduate in my home. so so this is the little bit idea that changed my life. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Monica. That was an inspiring story for all of us. And Toastmaster Mitali, I just have a question. The idea that you were talking about was as in, what was that idea all about? As in, this is just a follow-up question. I wanted to understand more about your
Yes.
idea.
Sorry, repeat the question.
Yes, I just wanted to know more about your idea, the idea that you were talking about.
Idea about someone say to me, Toastmaster like that. This Kalpana gives me my husband also gave me an idea that you join the Toastmaster and you grow in your communication skill and you grow. So I will just best idea Toastmaster joining. So best idea, and I grow and the success of the path.
Amazing. I'm really happy to hear that that the idea of joining Toastmasters actually is helping you change your life and is helping you in some way grow. So thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that experience with us. Thank you Toastmaster Monica and Toastmaster Mitali for sharing that idea with us. Next, I guess we are left with Toastmaster Arun. Would you like to go ahead for a table topic question?
I'm an ardent fan of table topics and ardent fan of your session, so why not?
Sure. Which fruit would you like to take? Which it,
I like all the fruits. Fruits are really good. You can choose one for me.
Okay, I'll choose tomato. Because
Okay.
very less people know that tomato is a fruit. I got to know via Spotify recently. So here's this. If you could commit any crime and get away with it, what would it be? If you could commit any crime and get away with it, what would it be? Over to you, Toastmaster Arun.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sakshi. You just caught me and my mind off guard. It's such a tricky question. If you could commit any crime and get away with it, what would it be? It has made me thinking, what would be that qualify for crime, and then I don't want to get caught also. My mind started thinking about whether I could take out some corruption, kill some corrupt people, but I don't want to do that because as Mahatma Gandhi said, hate the crime, not the criminal, or something like that on similar lines. So I'm not sure whether I want to commit any crime. What I do is, what I have done at Max in my life is probably bribed a train ticket examiner or a traffic police. And that is also a crime. And I have gotten away every time I have done that, and have done it a lot. I have hardly been given a challan ever in my life. I have always just greased the palm of the officers in front of me and just got away with it. To be able to get punished, that heinous or that grave crime is not coming to my mind, that I just land in jump shoot and prison sometime. So it would be probably murder. I don't want to murder anyone seriously. I am more kind of person who likes peace and stay in peace. I can't see the timer card, so I would say that I'll keep going. I still have some time in my topic. Well, if I have to really, then if I have to commit a crime, then probably what I'll do is take out few bad people, go back in history. If you are giving me that kind of superpower, go back in history, take out those few people. The way you say you can time travel and just take out. So you have seen that movie of Hollywood where the person just jumps the time and goes back and just changes the things. So probably that kind of crime. So thank you for the interesting topic, and over to you, tabletop master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Arun. I can understand that, yes, it was a really hard topic, a tricky topic, but you were able to handle it in such an amazing way. So yeah, I'm very happy to hear this. I'm very happy to hear this. How would I put it? I'm just happy to hear you speak on this topic because it was a tricky topic. Now, okay, so we have Toastmaster Nisha here as well.
I think Nisha spoke.
Nisha spoke? Okay, yes. So, okay, I guess we are done then. We all have taken topics. Maybe, should I take a topic and speak as well?
Why not? That's what I was going to suggest.
Yeah, I don't remember the topic that I've put in, but I can just guess. Grapes, peach, banana, watermelon. I'll take
what? Jackfruit.
Okay, jackfruit. I'll take that. Okay. If you could be any superhero, who would it be and why? If you could be any superhero, who would it be and why? Over to you, Toastmaster Sakshi. Okay. So, if I could be any superhero, I would be a Black Panther because yesterday I went with my friend to see Black Panther, and just to give you a spoiler, Black Panther, in the last season or in the last movie, the Black Panther passed away, but in this season we have another twist to it, or another twist to this movie where we have his sister coming in as a Black Panther. So sorry for the spoilers, but if I would like to be a superhero, then I would like to be her. Because the way she was fighting and the courage that she have shown in that entire movie is something that really inspired me. And I don't think that to be a superhero, you need superpowers. We already have superheroes like army officers and naval officers. We have our officers who are our real superheroes. So if I get a chance to be a superhero, I would either like to be a Black Panther or a naval officer, because that's what I would have loved to be. It's just that my height is little small, but I would have still managed it. So yes, I look up to them. I look up to all the naval and army officers, all the heroes who are protecting our country in a real way. So yes, I guess I do have some time. I'm not sure. So yes, if I ever get a chance, I would like to be a naval officer or an army officer and contribute in a way which people will remember for lifetime, or even if they don't remember, it is something that will keep me happy for myself. So I'll be happy on my own to just know that yes, I'm creating an impact by doing something that is impacting others' lives and which is helping others. So yes, thank you, and over to me.
Over to me was the best.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Radhika, and thank you, everyone. Now, I would like to pass over the stage to our TMOD, or the Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Arun. I hope.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Sakshi, for that wonderful session. Everyone, let's have a round of applause for our table topic master, Toastmaster Sakshi.
Thank you.
So everything so far was going smooth with our theme, like a movie, but as every movie has, this theme also has a villain. And the name of the villain is the curse of knowledge. So it's not that those elements have come to us or to you just a surprise, or you just got to know about it today. It's not like that. Many of you knew this already, but still this doesn't work. So for example, it's like choosing a team. Let's for example decide that we want to choose a basketball players team. What do you see? What would you see as a coach or as a captain while choosing a basketball player? Anyone? What is the most important trait that you would look into a basketball player?
Tall people.
Height. Exactly. Height. We need tall people. But at the same time, is only being tall make sense? They have to be accurate.
No.
They have to be agile. They have to be powerful. They know how to guard, how to defend, how to attack. So many things. But still, if you choose people with 1 or 2 or 3 or all traits, still that doesn't make them champion. It takes much more than those traits or those elements to build a champion, right? What happens? What is the curse of knowledge in our case? Why every idea, everyone knows those elements, still their idea, their speech doesn't stick to people. So there was an experiment by a researcher, Miss Newton, in 1990, and the name of the research was Tappers and Listeners. Anyone has heard about it before? Just raise your hand. Let me see. No. So the experiment was very simple, but why it was chosen and approved for dissertation? Because of the way people responded. So for example, if I ask you, you don't know anything about music, but if I ask you, let's say Toastmaster Nisha, that you play the tune of Happy Birthday to You on your table just by tapping your hands. There are 50 people in the room. How many people do you think would be able to interpret it exactly that you are tapping?
I think all.
Toastmaster Sai, how many people, if you play on a table, jingle bell, that
0
chime? All right. Toastmaster Kalpana, how many people do you think will you tap? And
0, according to me too.
so she does that interesting experiment, and she chose 120 people and made 2 groups, and she said one would be tapper and another would be listener, and she gave them these simple tunes to just play on the table. And when she asked the tappers, how many people do you think will be able to exactly interpret what you are tapping, which tune you are tapping? The tappers said 50% on an average. And when they exactly tapped, when that experiment happened, that there was one tapper in between a table and then across the table a listener, only 3 out of 120 experiments were successful, or only 3 out of 120 people, 1 out of 40. And that is why. So what is interesting in this experiment is why tappers were so confident still they failed, because the tune was playing in their mind.
In their mind.
And they thought in their mind, and they thought it is in my mind. Why the person can't listen and can't understand? They should understand. And that is what happened to most of the CEOs, most of the readers, most of the teachers, most of the people who are relaying the message. the message in their mind, and they think that other person also knows the same message. And this phenomena is called curse of knowledge. That we know and we think if we tell it just like that, other person will also receive 100% or would know. And the worst form is whatever we know, we think is not very uncommon and everybody knows it. And that is what happens to the messages, to the ideas, to the speeches, that despite having these 6 elements, we relay them in such a way that it doesn't stick, because we have that curse of knowledge, that we are thinking that other person is taking it the way we are giving it, but it doesn't happen. And with this, I invite our general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Nisha. She is a legal professional by chance and avid reader by choice. I like people who read. Joined world of Toastmaster during COVID and hugely gratified by its benefits. So everyone, with your round of applause, I invite general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Nisha, to the stage.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, and all my other Toastmasters and guests. I am the general evaluator for this meeting. As a G, I am supposed to, or my job is supposed to ardently follow the meeting, evaluate it, and give a report at the end of the meeting. So as a G, I'm actually raring to go. But let me start with the evaluation session. Today we had only one speech by Toastmaster Kalpana, and it was evaluated by Toastmaster Sai. So may I call upon Toastmaster Sai as the evaluator to give his comments on the speech given by Toastmaster Kalpana.
Toastmaster Kalpana, your speech was supposed to be a description of your experience in harnessing social media to either build out an existing profile or to create a new one. And what I loved about your speech is that you explained exactly, or you described exactly the thoughts that the process that any one of us would have gone through, any one of us who are not already on social media, very comfortable there, the process we would have gone through to reach where you did. You, for example, you started off by saying that when I first started using social media, I was a novice at it. I used to just post pictures, and if somebody commented on it, I used to get excited. And we felt the same way as the audience, that many of us are not social media mavens, and we liked it, that you were speaking for us. And that is a great asset to have in a speech where the audience can see themselves on stage in the words that you are saying. The other thing I liked a lot about your speech is that it was actually the speech went from not being, or you went from not knowing anything about social media to having a conclusion. Many times a speech like this tends to be meandering and there's no outcome that can hold on to. And in your case, that was not true. We did reach an outcome. Your charming smile, the way you presented the topic with a smile throughout and a very comforting presence on screen, that was again very welcome for a speech of this nature, which could have become very technical and boring, but you chose not to. You also gave examples of how social media has changed under you with the help of people in your team. Those are all wonderful and excellent means to keep the audience engaged. One more thing that I really, I don't know how you managed it, but you started off with a very strong quote and ended with an even stronger quote. For example, you started off by saying, visibility creates opportunity, which is something that we all hear it. We're not so on social media. Many of us are not on social media, but we know this instinctively, that visibility creates opportunity. For example, if you're a shopkeeper, dikhta hai to bikta hai. It's something like that. Visibility creates opportunity. And then you ended with an even stronger quote saying, if I had $1, I would spend it on PR. Brilliant. I mean, this is exactly what we need. You started off by saying social media is important, and he showed it by saying, with an example of somebody like Bill Gates saying, if I had $1 left in my pocket, I use it for PR. Great job there. But there are a couple of places where I felt the speech would have worked better if you made a few changes to it. One thing I noticed is that your speech did not have, what's the right word for it? It did not have a structure. Yes, there was a beginning where you didn't have any context of social media, then you transitioned to actually having good control of social media. You use your team to enhance all that. Great. But I would have maybe stopped in the middle and said, have you felt that about have you tried to do something that you're not good at? And what was your approach? You could have actually broken up the speech into 2 pieces so that we would know that from that point onwards, you're explaining how you are improving your social media game. because the way it was laid out, it seemed very, very seamless. And maybe that's how you felt yourself, that, I started off not knowing, and eventually over multiple cycles of conversations, I became better at it. But I think that hinge point of your speech was missing. And I think you need that. Any speech needs that. Any speech which shows growth needs that hinge point, saying, what if I continue this way? I would have failed. Or what if I didn't do anything? My club would have died, something like that. So we know that the speech is coming to its denouement. The other thing is, Toastmasters, Kalpana, don't take it the wrong way, but I feel your body language is a little bit over the top. You have a gesture for literally every sentence of your speech, and I think that's not necessary in many cases. Maybe that energy, that nervous energy that you have, which you use to show body language, you can use it to stage your speech. For example, you could be conversing with people on your team and how they helped you understand social media better. Or you could have like, man, I used to think social media is just pictures, but I realized that social media can be a conversation. So those kind of gestures make sense in the context of your speech, but the way the body language you chose could have been used a little bit of refining. Other than that, I think the speech was necessary and it was a very well-presented speech. And I love the fact that you went from not knowing to becoming a social media, maybe not a master, but at least you understood the game better. You explained that PR matters. You understood that. Then you showed a very charming side to yourself. And all these things are great assets in a speech. So back to you, General Evaluator. And I think hopefully this evaluation will show up on your Instagram reels as well. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Sai. That was a very, very effective evaluation. So, Toastmaster of the day, can you help me explain whether it is time for me to give the GE report or should I hand it back to you?
We can take tag team report. You can take tag team report and then give your general evaluation, and then you can hand over.
Okay. So in the tag team, let me call upon the timer first to come and present the report. I'm forgetting the name of the timer. Is it Toastmaster Sakshi?
No, it is Toastmaster Monica.
Monica, okay.
Yeah. Thank you, General Evaluator. Let me give the speaker's time report. Toastmaster Kalpana took 7 minutes 17 seconds, and now it's a table topic master time report. First speaker, Toastmaster Sai, took 2 minutes 12 seconds. Toastmaster Sherin took 1 minute 8 seconds. Toastmaster Radhika took 1 minute 25 seconds. Toastmaster Nisha took 1 minute 53 seconds. Toastmaster Kalpana took 1 minute 28 seconds. And Toastmaster Monica and Toastmaster Mithali took 2 minutes 15 seconds. Toastmaster Arun took 2 minutes 17 seconds. Toastmaster Sakshi took 2 minutes 8 seconds. For the evaluation round, Toastmaster Sai took 4 minutes 28 seconds. For the table topic session, all are qualified for the voting. Thank you. Over to General Evaluator.
Thank you. Can I now call upon the R counter for the meeting, Toastmaster Mithali, to come and present her report?
Toastmaster Sakshi. Toastmaster Sakshi, I've more than 5 times. And Toastmaster Arun, more than our sound is a more than 5 times. And Sai is a 5 times. And TM Toastmaster Nisha and 5 times. Over to you, Toastmaster Nisha.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mithali. Next, let us go to the grammarian for the day. The grammarian gave us a very good word as well as the phrase. Let's see how we fared on the grammar. Toastmaster Radhika, over to you, please.
I'm sorry, I'm very fond of collecting words, so my report is a bit longer. And I always like to share, because when I say these words separately from the sentences, that it stays in mind. So please forgive me for the time. I have collected the good usage of today's meeting, credibility, and those 6 elements to remember, to keep in mind. So I have noted down: simple, unexpectedness, concrete is detailed, visualize, credible, emotions, story, and success story, talent versus hard work, nature versus nurture, core of the message, catapulted, heart goes thump-a-thump, brainstorming, gamut of people, vivid, imaginary, perturbed, strive. Best idea was to join Toastmasters to change your life. Accurate, agile, curse of knowledge. This was such a wonderful thing which I learned. That means it was synchronization between mind and body. Your mind feels, of course I can do it, but you're not able to. That is a curse of knowledge. Harnessing, novice. And today, not so good usage was pronunciation, region, reason. Region, reason. Jump, shoot, jump, suit. Sure and sir. Jump, shoot, jump, suit. Impromptu means on your feet. So the way it was used, I think a little confusion. So impromptu means when you talk on your feet. Try to idea. Try an idea. My life is few changing. Can be said, my life is changing a bit. Look down. Look down is you're looking down. But when you want to say look down upon for your early marriage, so you say look down upon. A little bit think about it. I sometimes think. Little bit thought. That one little thought changed my life. What would be that qualifying crime? What would be that crime qualifying? No, you said what would that be crime qualifying? It should be what would be that qualifying crime? Height. Height is short and your body is small. So you, for your height, you use short. I'm a little short or shorter than required to be. Pass over the stage is better said is hand over the stage or pass on the baton. And I'm so glad for the word of the day and the phrase of the day used by so many Toastmasters. Thank you very much. Toastmaster Sai used it twice. And the phrase of the day also used twice. Toastmaster Kalpana used word of the day. Toastmaster Sakshi, Toastmaster Sherin, Toastmaster Arun, Toastmaster Nisha Sanjeev. And the phrase of the day was used by Toastmaster Sai, Toastmaster Sherin, Toastmaster Nisha Sanjeev. Thank you very much. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Wonderful report. So let me now come to my report of what I have observed through the meeting. So let me start with the start of the meeting. I think the meeting started very much on time. The SAR explained the role extremely well and the instructions were very clear. I would suggest a little bit of energy level could be enhanced by the SAR because the SAR is supposed to be the first speaker on the meeting. So, you know, the SAR has to somehow exude a lot of energy so that the people who have just joined and the people who are, you've got up from the sleep to join this meeting all come to terms with, and, you know, you build up that energy. The presiding officer was extremely good, introduced role well, started with a story, introduced the guests, very enthusiastic. So good marks there. The TMOD started again with a story, asked questions to the audience, arrested attention. In a very short time, TMOD actually gave insight of how a story should be built. Maybe you could have, I thought, asked a little bit more questions somewhere. I think in the middle, after I think the first speech got over, you came back and you explained more about. But there, if you had asked more questions, you could have engaged the audience a little more than we simply listening to what those points were. So as a TMOD, I think your role at all points of time is to keep up the energy level of the meeting at a very high peak. So, but good job, very good job done. The tag team, okay. Timer explained the role very well. Our counter also explained the job well. When you came back to give your report, I don't know, but I have seen in our meetings that we always have a visual representation of the report. You say, Toastmaster wise, you show how many hours, how many so and all those. You actually, so I think you could have explained that role of yours a bit more. But good job otherwise. The grammarian, excellent work, good choice of word, good choice of the phrase of the day. You came up and you explained the report also really well. I thought many points, as in many words, which actually are not great sounding words. Those also you pointed out, because sometimes it's not important that you always say big sounding words. The simple words also add up to your vocab and sound very nice and lucid. So thanks for pointing out even simple usage of words, and also not so good usages. I think you pointed out very well. I have seen in clubs where they actually point out not so good usages along with the name of the Toastmaster, which sometimes can be a little embarrassing for the Toastmaster or to put him on a spot. I think you managed that quite well. So good job on the grammarian front. Okay, table topic master of the day. I think cream, too good. The cherry on the cream sort of thing. Very creative way of doing the table topics. Good level of energy. One thing which I thought was you started. You always start with a seasoned Toastmaster instead of calling a guest, but you immediately corrected that, so that was good. It was actually a very fun session, and that session actually reminded me that every role player has a duty or has an opportunity to actually bring so much of different facet to his or her role. The way a grammarian can bring changes, the way an R counter can bring changes. So you actually reminded every role player that you can bring a lot of good ideas, out of box thinking by presenting your role in a very different way, but sticking to the reins of what your role requires. So very good. She was actually raring to go, that kind of energy she had with every speaker, and very encouraging also. Evaluation. I thought so. Before that, the speaker also, while I'm not supposed to be talking about the speaker, but I thought it was a good speech and everything. The evaluator, when it came to the evaluator, I thought very powerful evaluation done by Toastmaster Sai. He used the sandwich approach where he actually spoke about the good things. Then he spoke about what could have been improved, and then he summarized it. But even places like the nuances of body language and all that he tried to point out, he pointed out very effectively. Very, very, very nicely communicated. So that was a very good job done. In terms of general comments, I would say maybe we can encourage participants to always keep their video on, because when a speaker is speaking and you see all shut videos, you don't really get that enthusiasm or motivation to, while you're delivering that speech. Or even for a role player, when he or she is speaking and I see only one camera on, it doesn't really excite me. So maybe we can encourage participants to keep camera on. Also, I saw that during the table topic session, there was a lot of encouragement from the other Toastmasters to help the guests or the Toastmasters who weren't coming up to speak. Very nice trait in a club, I would say, to sort of help other Toastmasters to come up, and because it's all a community, and you want everybody to improve, and at the end of it have great communication skills. So these are the only two comments I have written in terms of general comments. This was my first meeting in this club, but I really thoroughly enjoyed. Though it is a very small mix of people, I think everybody did their role well, and it was good time spent for me. So thank you, and over to the Toastmaster meeting.
Let's have a round of applause for our general evaluator, Toastmaster Nisha, for thorough evaluation of the meeting. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nisha, for your comments and insights. That is definitely going to help us improve. Now, I'll quickly summarize the theme and then we'll go on to presiding officer. So can we take help? I think Toastmaster Radhika has already summarized the key elements. So I started with the story of kidney heist, which it's an urban legend, and it has all those elements which are required for an idea to stick to the audience. But there are so many other things that are required to make an idea stick. Those elements are just the basic necessity. And let's just repeat those elements again. So starting with Sakshi, what's the first element?
It's simple.
Yes, simple. Toastmaster Monica, second.
Sorry.
Unexpectedness. Help me, please. It's a voluntary kind of round now. So anyone who knows what's coming next, just speak.
Concrete credibility.
I'm just typing it for the reference of others.
Emotions.
What's the next?
Story.
Yeah, perfect. But always remember the villain that comes after these heroes. The curse of knowledge. And that's the last thing. So if you are able to handle the villain, we are able to we will be able to successfully convey our message to large part of the audience. And with that message, hope you remember those elements, you remember the villain, and in next time when you write the speech or when you want to convey a message, you will incorporate those elements and see whether it helps. So thank you so much. And now I invite Presiding Officer, Toastmaster Sherin.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Arun. It was an ardent session that we had, a wonderful, wonderful theme, and lots to learn. With that, can I ask the Zoom Master to launch the polls for the table topics and the other rules as well? As she is launching the poll, there is another meeting which is going on at Airoli Bilingual Toastmasters Club. It is done by Sapna Ori. She is the district director and she is the manager at Ernest ENY. And it's a meeting on transferable skills. So all the new Toastmasters, Toastmaster Monica, Toastmaster Mitali, I urge you to just join the meeting. If you have some time, you'll be astonished as to how much you will be able to learn. She is a wonderful speaker, and if you get the time, do join. It's from 5 to 7. Toastmaster Kalpana has already put it in the chat in our group, so you can check the details there. Yeah, Toastmaster Monica, just let me know when you're done.
I think we are towards the last of it, and I think it will be announced soon, Sherin. Monica, it's done, right?
I think she has to launch for table topic speaker.
No, it is already done. It has been done. It was the very first one was table topics.
Yes, certificates are ready.
All right. So you can announce the prizes. I mean the winners.
So the table topics goes to Toastmasters side. Congratulations so much. And can we have a big smile, Toastmasters side? Okay. Next, we have the best role player auxiliary goes to the grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Radhika.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hopefully she doesn't notice the capital A and bring out the grammar mistake there. Congratulations so much.
Thank you.
I think we will rectify it and send it across.
Thank you. No problem.
And the best role player goes to our TMOD for his wonderful session, Toastmaster Arun. Congratulations, Toastmaster Arun.
Thank you.
Okay. With that, I declare the 83rd meeting of Speakers Community Toastmasters Club gets to an end. And we can now start with our networking session. And we don't have to be so formal for this now.